Look
now.
at that.
Boom.
Good morning, good evening, George. You are my cup of tea, and you're not a mug. Hi,
He is a
Adrian.
mug. Hey, Captain Boring today.
Oi,
Captain Boring.
Captain Boring.
Absolutely. Sanchito Banerjee. Sanchito's made the first comment. He's actually in my list of comments to mention. So, Sanchito, and he's also Australian. It's perfect. Welcome to the 6th About Effing Time live stream. Can you believe it, guys? We've done 6 of these bad boys.
This
Game on.
therapy session is getting more and more and more.
I need these.
I need them too. I mean,
It's all about us, guys. You think we're involving you? We're just actually. This is really the only time we see each other's faces between episodes as well, apart from when we're filming.
Yeah,
so,
it is actually. Yeah.
yeah. And I think if we
it's
do
cheaper than proper therapy. This is saving me money, so I appreciate that.
what do you mean? I'm billing you both.
Oh, damn it.
As long as you let me off yours. No, we've done live streams from. Well, let's count the places from. Was it Greece, George?
yeah, Greece, Amsterdam,
Glasgow, the Bush, the Grampians.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then I think the next therapy session, I think two of us are going to be together in Australia.
Yes,
Boom.
that is just freaky. We've got a lot of greetings here. We've had greetings from LA, hello from New Orleans. Man, this is amazing. I used to dream of hello from Hastings. I used to dream of being a radio DJ and being able to say these things in my station ID, but this is... We've got someone from Tehran here. Hi, Sam from Tehran.
Oh, amazing.
My fave watch dudes. You're my fave commenter, BB.
And Sam,
Poland.
you've commented a lot on some of our other therapy sessions, because I do remember your
Holy
logo.
shit. I remember we've got the 3 Ps here. We've got Portugal, Poland, and Philadelphia, Northern Ireland,
Oh yeah.
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Oh man, should we just do this for an hour? I'm tripping on this.
just to see how far we can go.
Is anyone
cool.
going to the funeral tomorrow? Jeez, way to bring the vibe down, hands
Yeah,
and
but
cogs.
I've got something for you. Okay, just hold on a second.
What on that?
Connecticut, Norway, New York, Telford, Mexico, South Australia is where it's at, Corey.
Well, whereabouts are you? Are you south of Australia? I don't know anything about Australia, to be honest. I'm gonna have to Google
So
map that.
Victoria is the southernmost bit of Australia. What the hell? He's stolen the Queen's corgi. Watch Girl Life. I know you, Watch Girl Life. Grenchen,
Oh, look at that.
Switzerland. Aarhus, Denmark. Oh, that's beautiful. Can we, Adrian, do you have the ability to play the national anthem or something now? I feel like that's what's missing.
Oh, I wish I
Virginia,
had the
Miami, Iowa,
technical ability.
San Antonio. Well, look, guys, I'm thoroughly distracted by our incredibly diverse audience and well spread around the world. Thank you so much for joining us. We do not take this for granted. We are a young podcast and show, and to have this much global support this early is amazing. And
Definitely
look,
amazing.
you are changing the game for us, and that is my very artless segue. In Sydney Airport, flying to Melbourne. Stop! I got to stop looking at these comments. They're brilliant. Good luck getting anywhere if you're flying Qantas, my friend. Look, we are talking in this episode about game changers, and guys, wow, did we get a proper clap back in the comments? This was quite a week of commenting, wasn't it?
Yeah, but people were furious at some of the watches. And to be fair, we did miss out some absolute gems of game changer watches, some of which that I have with me today. But it was quite funny seeing. I felt silly for missing out some very obvious ones. But yeah, there's some angry people in the comments this time.
Oh,
Yeah, look,
but it's always good.
Sometimes we get in there and we get a little punchy, and I'll argue the point. In this one, I just went, yep, fair play. Yeah, good call. That's another one. So we are going to, I do have a list of the brands, the models that effing right, Jonathan Smith, that we missed out on. And I'm going to just mea culpa my ass off in this episode because there's a lot here. But before we do that, gentlemen, Captain Boring, what is on your wrist? Please make it boring.
It is. So I have the Apple Watch, which is we'll probably get talking about that later on. But
can we? Because
a very contentious but very obvious game changer.
Yeah.
How did we miss that?
That one's not the game changer, but the next one is. But anyway.
Oh, I can feel the arguments coming on.
Oh yes, they're coming.
Georgie, what's on your wrist, my man?
So I got the casquette.
Oh, I thought that was an Apple Watch for a second too.
No, almost.
Nice. That was
casquette.
I think that was in episode 1. We wore that, didn't we? Yep.
Yeah. So.
Now I'm going to give a prize to the person. I've got the Darth Turtle. Yeah. Boom. This is a really interesting Seiko reference that I will never sell this one. And if someone can, it's SKRPC something something something, which is why we gave it a nickname, the Darth Turtle. It's my favorite ever Seiko diver. But it's not about Seiko today. However, I think that I wore this as a bit of a way to segue into one of the potentially the most referenced game changer that we apparently missed. Though I do want to start this live stream by saying, and I've seen in the comments that some have noted and respected the rules, but we did have parameters to this episode that Adrian just happily smashed through and said, take your 10-year rule and shove it.
I stand by that. I'm sorry. I stand by that.
So we had some people in the comments saying, well, snowflake, but it wasn't in the 10 years. But look, I wear Seiko to segue into Grand Seiko, but I also remind people it was meant to be game changers from the last 10 years. But hey, Here we are. It's turned into a different beast, and we're going to go there. So I wear the Seiko to reference look, I think there are many innovations. Grand Seiko is a brand, like a sort of a caged tiger on the Japanese island for many years, weren't they, Adrian? You know what I mean? They were a JDM. They were a Japanese domestic model for a long time.
And then they exploded, rightly so, and perhaps more so. I don't know what they're like in Australia. In the UK, I say there's still a lot more growth to be had. But Grand Seiko are soon to open a new boutique on Bond Street, which should have much more of a presence than where they are right now in London. But in America, they're massive, and rightly so. They aren't my cup of tea, as we would say over here. But from a product point of view, incredible.
Adrian, I think they were your cup of tea. I know that sounds strange, but I just feel like, from my side, I feel like there's something.
What happened with you and Grand Seiko? I agree.
I'm not geeky enough. I'm not geeky enough to fall in love with the Grand Seiko. Every time I've gone into the store, I feel like I need to know more, and I don't know enough. I feel like I need a library behind me. I need to be working full-time at Hodinkee or something, and kind of like... I need to understand Grand Seiko in a better way, and that's why I think, Adrian, it's very you.
I think that's a very good...
You have a library behind you. You have a library behind you. Can I just point that out? Sorry, Adrian.
You actually do. But no, George, I think you're right. And I think that's one of the fun things about Grand Seiko is that for Joe Bloggs walking down the street, you're just wearing a Seiko. So you do have to understand why it is a special bit of kit, and that's why I do like Grand Seiko, is because of the technical side of them. I had a 9F quartz movement Grand Seiko, which the movement inside is just, it's painful, the level of engineering that went into creating that movement. I ignorantly wrote off a lot of quartz movements, just thinking, it's just quartz, it's gutless. But then you read it and actually learn about this stuff, and it is mind-blowing that actually a watchmaker makes this movement. It's not a machine, a robot just putting these things together. So yeah, you're absolutely right, George. For me, it isn't a design aesthetic that I appreciate, and so it's all about the technicalities.
Yeah, but that's what, for me, it doesn't work for me in the sense of you have to read a Bible before you kind of you understand that.
Oh, come on, guys.
I like what you're wearing. What you're wearing is like turtles and things like that. I think, I think they're bloody cool, and I just go there. Seiko kind of like the robustness and the cool side of it. Grand Seiko, I every time I go into one of their boutiques worldwide, I'm like going, I've got to fall in love with this watch. I was in Japan, and I was like looking at some of the exclusive only Japan watches, and I was like, And I walked out and I was like, why didn't I buy one? And I don't know.
Yeah,
and there's not something that's gelled with me.
I need to respond to this because, like, you say it's a cerebral, intellectual brand. I could not disagree more. The thing about Grand Seiko, in addition to the technical side and the spring drive and what they're bringing to the table with the Kodo, for example, the new constant force tourbillon, is just pure aesthetics. Like, you couldn't get a more aesthetically driven, dial design driven brand. Like, the biggest part of real estate on a Grand Seiko is the dial, and their dials are the thing that I think there's just so many variations on these absolutely stunning dials. Like, don't you?
I absolutely
not moved
agree.
by that?
I agree, but I think the problem is with some manufacturing techniques, these things can be achieved in a much cheaper fashion. And so I think you have to appreciate the Zuratsu polishing and the level of finishing that goes in. Like some of their dials, that they are just random. The pattern, it's a technique to create the pattern, but actually it isn't a stamp. And so each one is slightly different. And I think you have to understand that to appreciate it. But yeah, there are some gorgeous things. Like, it's not the snowflake, but the
white birch.
White birch. That dial is just beautiful. You can just sit and just stare at that thing for hours. It's gorgeous.
But that's the thing I'm going to say to you is I haven't spent time.
It hasn't happened.
It hasn't connected. So that's why, we're saying a game changer. It's why it didn't even cross my mind at the time, because I think that they have done a very good marketing thing. They have done, as you said, in America, everyone talks about the Grand Seiko. It's kind of like, if you know, you know. But at the moment, I haven't. There's no kind of. I don't walk out of the shop going, I want to buy that, and I'll walk back in. And that's the thing that, I agree with you. The dial design, the movement design, everything about it should connect straight. It should be like, it should hit me and go, I want this fucking watch, but I don't. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
And that's even at Watches and Wonders, where we all kind of met on the dating scene. We were there, and it was just like one of those things where I didn't kind of go, oh my God,
your left brain hasn't like hugged your right brain on this one, because your right brain as a designer and a watchmaker yourself, you can't not respect the leaps and bounds they're making. Like, to drop their first complication and for it to be the constant force tourbillon which was actually, for once, because one of the things that really bugs me about Grand Seiko, there's two things that bugs me about Grand Seiko. One, the bracelets have been subpar.
Yes,
from
the
day
bracelets
one
are shocking. Yeah, they are terrible. Yeah.
And two, the symmetry of their dials is sometimes just bewildering. You have never seen a more haphazard, and to me, like, as far from the Lange kind of golden quadrant as you could possibly get. There's a power. It's like a kid's game. There's a power reserve here. There's a chronograph subdial here, and they're not connected. But the white birch, I think the bracelet, look, it's very thick and it doesn't taper, which for me is, I like that. Others find that too manically and too, like, it looks too thick and chunky. But I think the white birch is the closest to an integrated offering. And the Series 9 case, I really think, is a step forward as well, because the Snowflake case is kind of like a Zenith Chronomaster Sport. It can rise a little high. So look, it's not fully integrated, but it shows a lot of promise. And the reason I think Grand Seiko is a game changer, Ash Miller, that is never going to happen, man. Did you not just hear what Bamford just said? We're a couple months off that. Having said that, you release a watch every 15 minutes. So if we wait an hour.
Honestly, I had to put a stop on one of them because something happened here in the UK. But do you know that this may be a thing of persuading me to fall in love with Grand Seiko, because the thing is, I need to get into.
If I put a white birch on your wrist, or a dark birch, like, what is a night birch, white birch and night birch, like, these watches it really locks in. The design feels like finally it's a sport watch. It's got a sort of a G&T Master 2 vibe, like, that fully locked in, really solid, but super comfortable, hugs the wrist. Let's play. Hey, Adrian, let's take George to a Grand Seiko boutique and watch him writhe and squirm and.
No. Okay, look, but I think this could work. I think this would be a great thing for season 2. There's one of the comments here is, will Frank Muller make a comeback? I'm going to say is hell yes. I think that you can buy some amazing Frank Mullers. I've been on eBay recently and
the vintage Frank Mullers are
frick. These guys are going to come out swinging. It's like the IWC Engineer or where the old ones that there you go. Those ones. This is a comeback, and I think it's OG school cool, and I totally agree. Okay, sorry,
George,
Andrew,
we have.
You're in charge.
Oh no. Who's? Oh no, we've all done a wrist check. Sorry.
Yeah.
Guys, can we do a quick audio check? Can someone sort of just comment to say who's too loud, who's too quiet, and then
that's a good idea.
I'll give the chair back to the boss man.
Yeah, I was.
All good.
I've just adjusted.
Good. Cool.
I can't see any comments. I assume it's good.
It's you can adjust all you want, George. It's the actual volume that you project it from your mouth from that makes a difference. There it is. I got one. No, look, I want to quickly linger on Grand Seiko for one more second.
I'm still too low. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'll
George,
shout.
No, you're not.
I think they might be taking a piss, George.
Blomps. You're playing with fire.
GB is quiet. No. Okay, hello, I'm here. I'm waking up the street. Hello, morning. Oh no, that's Australia.
Hey, Australians, you're awake. Thank you. Grand Seiko, great game changer. The reason that fits together well is that I do think there's been a fairly solid assault on Swiss watchmaking from Japan. We've had a bunch of brands from Japan: Corona, Tokyo, Ming, Nyodo, Heuer, Grand Seiko. There is obviously a gathering sort of troop there, but also would we call Lange a game changer for really bringing German watchmaking to a Patek level? Would we feel that Lange is any kind of a game changer in the last 25 years?
I would say so. Yes. For someone to so impactfully get to that level of watchmaking and to be a legitimate person to perhaps join the Holy Trinity or knock someone out of the Holy Trinity from a non-Swiss company, I'd say that has been a game changer. It's really put a massive stamp on the German watchmaking. German watchmaking has always been big, but that level, that power,
What do you think, George? I have never heard you mention Lange in our entire relationship.
I absolutely love Lange. I walked onto their stand at Watches and Wonders back in the day, and I just went, they are such a brand, and I just thought, wow. Now that is a brand. My problem is most of the watches that I want from them are totally out of my exit or total budget. That's the problem, is that it hits above it hits the ceiling and it goes past it, and it's one of those things.
You and your bloody budget ceiling, George. It's just we
yeah, but
we're gonna find out what this number is. It sounds like you've got even cents in this number. It's like X thousand and X pence.
No, it just hits. But I love, and you're right about German watchmaking. But the thing is, German watchmaking has been there for decades. It's been there before Lange, and it's just what's happened is it's like the UK watchmaking, and it's like all of these watchmaking houses. You think about it, it's been around for a long period of time. And so, when we say German watchmaking, well, German watchmaking's been there. You think of all the old pocket watches, and you think of all the old manufacturing of those. But
they've needed that poster boy, poster girl. They've needed that hero brand to fly the flag. And I think Lange has done that. Lange has been that sexy symbol right at the top.
Yeah,
right. We have. Right. So we have started with some, a big mea culpa, because I think if we were to look through all the 400 and something comments, we would find that Grand Seiko and the Snowflake and the Spring Drive was the most outrageously overlooked. I feel like we've somewhat fessed up to. I think we can agree that Grand Seiko is 100% a game changer, and there is no brand investing more in taking on accessible sort of luxury watchmaking than Grand Seiko. The boutique explosion, the brand managers appearing in every region and country. It is a full-on assault, and there would be brands that have had battle room meetings, emergency meetings about what the hell are we doing about Grand Seiko, because they're coming for us. So I think that's a really good point, everyone.
It's the Japanese invasion.
Must say, doesn't, and by the way, Ming is from Malaysia. Thank you for that. Doesn't submit to my 10-year rule. I just want to put that out there again. We've shifted the rules. There's a game changer there. But we will get to Adrian's game changer. But the most up-liked comment's always an interesting one, because that also reflects the voice of the people. So Sam, who I think is in the comments, crushed it with his comment. And what did he say, gents? Does anyone else pick that up at the top of the comments?
So I read it out. I think the Tissot PRX is a game changer. A beautiful stainless steel bracelet watch that actually could be bought for a reasonable price with a Swiss automatic movement, decent power reserve. You get more than what you pay for, which I agree. And it's the PRX has taken the whole watch industry by storm to kind of highlight, oh, look, we can make a sexy watch. Yes, there's a heavy influence in it, but isn't there across the whole watch industry? As soon as there is a hero product, everyone follows suit. And yeah, you get a huge amount of watch for your money. The build, I was expecting the build quality to be terrible for the price that it's at, and it isn't. It's
you
impressive.
Even get that sort of disco ball effect off the bracelet. You know how with the Royal Oak you slowly roll it. It's quite amazing. Look, I think that the thing that people overlook about the PRX is that it's derived from the Sea Star in 1978, and it's identical to the model from that sort of late 70s period. But someone actually picked up another reference, which is the was it the Air King, the Oyster Quartz?
Yeah,
that's right. From the quartz from the 70s by Rolex that was might have heavily influenced the PRX as well. Look, the reason I didn't have this in my mix is that I feel like this is a superficial game changer. It's a sort of a 2021 game changer, as in there was such a crisis at that kind of getting a Royal Oak level that this is one little quick fix for that impossibility for most of us. So I don't feel like this actually turned the tables over in any way. I do think it was a nice band-aid, and it was lucky for a lot of these Swatch Group brands. A lot of these older brands have archives for just forever, and they just went, yeah, that's going to work right now. So I feel like it's a great watch, it's a great price, it's a great solution, but to me this isn't a game changer.
See, sorry, Joe Karen.
Look, you're talking about the day date that came out with the Oyster, and I can see that reference coming through. I think this is it was a surprise, and that was when I put it on my wrist. I was like, this is a surprise of a watch. Integrated bracelet done with such finesse. I thought it was going to be a cheap watch, as Captain Boring said. I think it really is. It is one of those things that, you know, it's that surprise watch. And I think I don't like the smaller size, and everyone goes, oh, the smaller size is better. I think that the bigger size is better for me. And I think your Tissot does need a kind of comment to say, yes, actually they're doing something good. And as we've just said with Grand Seiko, these guys are taking on some of the big boys and delivering something that is at a price that the Swatch Group can actually deliver.
And look, there's a lot of comments at the moment about Longines in the chat. And I do want to call out, there was a very astute commenter who said, what about the Legend Diver? Absolutely brilliant point. I would give the Legend Diver a game changer status over the PRX every day of the week. And that is because it was the first heritage reissue by Longines to turn into a collection. So Jem, and to all those people saying, what about Longines? I'm going to pinpoint, a few people have said that the Spirit Zulu is a great GMT. It is. But to me, these are superficial little watches of the moment that come along and slot into a value proposition that makes them great for a year or 6 months or maybe 2 years at best. But the Legend Diver, I mean, this watch took a long time to ignite. It was actually a poor seller in Australia for quite a while. And then it started to gain traction. But now you've got endless variations, and they're all good because the platform that it's built on is collection worthy.
I'd package the Casio in that mindset as well, of being, it's hot right now. In 3-4 years' time, is it still going to be as relevant? In the same way as a Chronomaster Sport, in the same way as a Black Bay 58, a Black Bay range as a whole, is it still going to have that status? And I guess perhaps it's too early to say so, but I think you're right in the mindset of it's hot right now because of everything else that's going on.
Because of the circumstances.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but Casio was my next thing to point out, but I put that in the same category. However, I do stand by both of I think we had 2 or 3 Black Bays in the Game Changer episode, which was overkill. But the Black Bay is totally different for me because it threw the tables over. It re-diverted it reopened a whole genre of watchmaking, which was sort of vintage divers. So I don't put them in the same category at all. I think history will look at that Burgundy Black Bay with the distress strap as a moment where there was a fundamental trend shift. George, what do you think? You're the design guy. You're the guy that watches the sort of the macro trends and looks for really big shifts. Do you agree that a lot of these basically Royal Oak homages like the Casio and the PRX, or again, PRX isn't a homage because it's a Sea Star from 78. But do you agree that there was something much more seismic and on the Richter scale that gets a bigger rating with the Black Bay?
We all kind of said, yes, we like the Black Bay. I do think integrated bracelet is something that is going to be getting more and more going. I think more and more brands will do it because the harder it is to buy a Patek, an AP, I could see more brands.
Vacheron even now.
You're now looking at those watches and saying, I can't buy one, so I'm going to be going for something else. And I think integrated bracelet is the I hate this word, but it's the baller move with any brand. I mean, if you're going to be a brand that jumps into it, it is soup du jour. But I think it's going to be soup du jour for quite a while. I think it's going to keep on going for a while. I look at it and think something like the Longines, I do think is a fad, because I would have gone for a vintage Jaeger-LeCoultre Mamavox or something like that, because for me that would have been that's kind of better than the execution of that. I think is better than the Longines, but that is my personal opinion because I love how.
But it's like 10 times the price.
No, but
20 times the price.
Secondhand, they've fallen off a cliff, most of them. So you can pick up some good quality ones, not 100%, but I kind of would have gone that way over that Longines. But I like that the Longines has built up its own kind of area on that.
I'll tell you what, I'll take a Vulcane Cricket over a Memovox this week. Vulcane's back, baby. Look at that. Did you see that? The Cricket being re-released this week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
so the Cricket, for people that don't know, the Cricket is a Memovox era watch with alarm, and the Cricket, the name relates to this incredibly irritating but effective grinding noise it makes when the alarm goes off. Anyway, we've sort of gone down another rabbit hole, but I still separate out the Black Bay from these kind of the moment game changers. Now, the other game changer of that episode, George Bamford did not once mention Tag Heuer. And there are some people that are very upset. There are someone's concerned. They want you to just take your pulse, George. So are you still okay? And secondly, someone said they come up with a drinking game with their friend, and they sat there and didn't have a single drink.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's funny. Just replace Tag Heuer for Zenith, and you'll get plastered. Don't worry.
Or a phrase like, "Can I just say?" Which
it's like just have a George drinking game. I mean, like, it's almost like I love that.
That's sick. Yeah, when a card goes up, you have to do a shot. So that was Sanchito Banerjee and Matt Wilson. Both were very concerned for George's welfare. in terms of the Grand Seiko comment, there were lots of. I'm not going to list all the people who mentioned that, but there were many people who commented that on that. So Parmigiani Fleurier also came up a lot, and I'm not going to say, I don't know how you guys feel about this. I'll just do my little preface for this, but I don't consider that they're a game changer yet. I think Guido Torini going there from Bulgari, where he was a big part of the Finissimo. So Guido Torino he's got magic in his fingertips, this gent, hasn't he, George? He's quite he's a very dynamic. He's a David Serrato type. He's a rock star, but he's sort of a smooth criminal. He smells good. he's always looking sharp. He's got the salt and pepper happening in the beard. Always great eyewear like you, George. But you just can't ever count this guy out. He went from the Finissimo made a stealthy move to Parmigiani, which was a brand I thought was identityless. I've sat through every year's presentation from Parmigiani and come out with less of an idea about who they are until this year. That was a little harsh. That came out quite harsh. But it's true. Like one year there were sirens and LA streets, and there was some sort of an urban theme, and I was like, well, I'm just really confused. I feel like I've just watched what's that? The cop show in LA. But this year, the clarity, the crystal vision of what the PF, the newly minted brand is just crystal clear. And a lot of people, I think 3 people said the GMT Rattrapant's a game changer. It is a game changer technically because I don't think there's ever been a GMT Rattrapant which allows you to return the home time with one click of a nipple on the crown. So it is a game changer technically, and also it's definitely a threat to the Holy Trinity. But what do you guys think of Parmigiani? Would you give that a game changer pass?
Not yet. I haven't experienced them in hand. They've got an integrated bracelet offering, which I like the look of, but again, I haven't experienced it firsthand, so I can't really pass too much comment. How does that Rattrapan at GMT work? You must obviously have to dial in the home time, and then it must. So it's got pushes to advance and go back with the system is that there's the normal handset, and then underneath the hour hand is a golden hand, and they're skeletonized, and it's perfectly lined up. So there is no hint that there's going to be this magic trick. And then you simply advance it with one pusher. So it's the most elegant and cool. Unfuck-upable like GMT for dummies. You get to a place, you just advance the hand under the hour hand with one pusher, and then when you are flying back and it's like, oh, I'm back on home time, you just press the pusher inside the crown and it returns. That's clever. I like that.
The elegance of it, because GMT's all the fiddling and oh man, I'm a simple guy. This watch there's a reason it just melted journalists. And look, in defense of journalists, Parmigiani probably spent the least trying to convince us of anything at the last fair. And yet we all just stood there in Parmigiani and just went, oh shit. And the thing is, the other element of this watch that you can't get across is the haptics of the pusher. You know, sometimes you can feel it nearly engaged, but then you need to push it a bit more. Yeah. Oh, how bad that is. How you instantly just go, take it away. I don't want that. I don't have faith in that. This is like butter. It smoothly engages, and then there's a very precise click that gives you this, I've done what I came here to do.
You mean like the keyboard on a proper laptop when it gives you that sense when you go, I can type.
Yes. Yes, you know exactly how much pressure anyway, I'm going too deep. But this watch, practically all the hardcore kind of way down the rabbit hole journalists all just came out going, just shivering, just like, God damn it, watch of the fair. So
look, I would agree, but the other thing I have with it, but I'm being negative today because I think I'll be. It's like when Koenigsegg came out with its gearbox, and you have 2 gearboxes next door to each other. One's an automatic and one's a manual on your car. I'm like going, Don't be a lazy shit. Come on, you can reset your fucking watch.
I don't. My date's always wrong. I don't.
Yeah, same.
I just want it to be.
I reset my watch for this meeting, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
Look, you want it to be simple, but we do look at look. How do I look at the time? How do I look at anything? As I look at it through my freaking phone.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people upset about Parmigiani in Australia because it is not here at the moment, but they are having and this is the thing, guys. Back to Moonswatch, back to Rolex. You sort of want your brands to release great watches. You want the people whose job it is to somewhat report on the watches to be excited about them and tell you what I just did, which is that this watch is going to blow your fucking mind when you touch it. Yeah. But then you also want to buy it, and because of the effectiveness of digital media in that we reach so many people, the more people we light up through channels like ours, the harder it is to get the watches. And unfortunately, even if they were available in Australia, that GMT Retropant, it's not going to happen. It's very hard to get.
Just a question. What's the retail on something like that? Roughly.
You're pushing me. I think it's like Aussie, maybe 50. But we're talking like effectively Geneva seal style, hand polished components.
I know, but it's touching the top of my butt. I mean, like literally, it's like two sheets.
Oh, I just saw it fly away, George. You were just like, bye bye. We could have been good tonight.
Darling.
Someone else loves the Tondograph GT, which is, I found this super confusing. And Guido and Pascal, if you're listening, I found this really confusing that they released those really sporty chronographs in the old style with the old branding, the GTs, and then the new style PF chronographs. I found that was the only fault that I had, but maybe there's a plan there. You know those super sexy chronos in those colors? Did you see those ones? The GTs?
I wonder what's now. That's quite cool. Quite like these.
There's a bit of a mix of styles, isn't there? Yeah. So we had a few people clapping back on the thanks Andrew Abram. We're clapping back on the game-changing micro, and Adrian, I sent this to you last night. And you were like, "Oh, how do we miss Helios?"
Oh yeah. But I feel that there's a couple of game-changing micro brands out there, and that could be a whole episode in itself, because some of these micro brands are kind of schooling. Well, we went into this. They're kind of schooling the big boys.
Oh yes.
And so Baltic, for example, Helios are killing it.
I put them on that level. Helios are on a Baltic level, and I just kind of kicked myself when I saw that, because someone claims that they officially have the Rolex of micro brands mantle. I don't know that that's a thing, but certainly
or a good thing.
Or a good thing. Yeah, these days it's it's hard brush, but the bronze models with that Sunray dial. God damn it, they were amazing.
But the one thing I will say to you is you hear Jean-Claude Biver talking about the brands. He's just done this interview for a watch brand, and he was talking about how independents are the ones that are moving the compass more than any other brand. And I'm not quoting him precisely, but if you read it, if you listen to him, firstly, if you listen to Jean-Claude Biver, you just want to sit at his feet and just go, I feel like it's kind of coming of age, like that thing of like, I'm just like freaking cool. But what he said was that he said, look, these guys are pushing it more than anyone else. And I think that's right. You can from, every brand that we've talked about on About Effing Time, all the micro brands, they have pushed the boundaries. They've done something cool. And that's the thing is,
you have to survive, don't you? As a micro, like you just can't coast. You have to come out. I mean, we won't talk about Studio Underdog again, but like the reason that brand's cut through,
Watermelon.
It's not the seagull movement. It's the fact that it was bright, and it just people they like shiny things. It's a very bright shiny thing.
It was such a clever move of moving the logo right and left and doing all those things. I was just like, how has no one else thought about that? It's like
crazy.
your thing, but I think it is one of those that I think there is a real kind of I don't know. There's a fighting talk now with independents, and I think there's some really good independents that are swinging out and changing the surface of watch. You've got such a good choice.
Guys, I'm getting absolutely tortured by the comments. Yes, thank you, Adrian. You read my mind. There are several people. Do you think, gentlemen, could we design a watch together for real? Could we do this? I love us, and I love the way we do what we do already, but could that translate into an effective design team for a watch?
I think we would have to save the relationship. I think we'd have to have 3 different watches.
3 versions.
But mine would be just be a black dive watch or a black field watch. Just the most boring watch.
Maybe some beige, just to spice it up.
Oh, come on a beige NATO strap. Actually, that's actually our best-selling NATO strap. We're sold out. Barkandjack.com.
Team boring.
No, look, I think this could be an idea. I mean, we're already starting to put together some ideas for season 2.
We're not, George. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant ideas for a watch. I was going to say, George, you're lying. I'm calling you out. We are not putting together ideas for a watch.
Oh, we should. Are we not? I think we should.
No, but season 2, I think we... What about actually if we designed a watch for season 2? That would be freaking cool if we did that as a session, as a whole thing, and designing our
watch.
Yeah, but design our ultimate watch. I'll get one of my team to design it. We could build a 3D thing, and we could have a lot of fun building it. Anyway, look, there is one thing that you guys didn't talk about as a game changer, and I really want to get to this because then I want to get on to some other questions. Is what, Adrian, on your wrist is the biggest game changer that we did not talk about? And the reason why I feel like the reason why we didn't talk about it is because it is one of those that is not really, I don't see it as a watch. And I know that sounds strange. It's called an Apple Watch, and it is the biggest wearable in the world. But I don't see it. I see it in something that's in fitness and in health and not in the watch world. But that's probably me.
But why? What? Let's have a little therapy session about why this isn't a watch for you.
I don't know. I think
Mr. G-Shock. Why isn't? How is this different from a G-Shock?
I'm with Mr. G-Shock on this. Because
the thing is, I will keep a G-Shock for the whole of my life. That I'll get the next version. And for
guys,
me,
until a mechanical watch can have literally 5,000 functions, then the Apple Watch will remain a device in a wearable device category as opposed to a watch. That's why I see it.
But that's exactly what all watches are. Is we need a watch to have this function. So it's not just time. We need to be able to see a seconds. All right, we're going to add seconds. I'm going to travel, so we need to have a second time zone. I need to see how fast this racing cars.
We're at 3. Yeah. It can't tell me how many steps I do. Well, actually, a lot of watches can. No, it can't. My wife can't talk to me through my fucking watch, and that's really good. I love you, Fee, but I like that get to me.
I agree about the fact that it is disposable consumerism, which I disagree with. This is the 3rd year I've had this.
Yeah.
2nd year I've had this. No, 3rd year.
Charge it.
First year you've had it. Oh, good. Okay.
Charging it sucks. But I just believe that this is. That's going to be a very contentious thing. I believe that this is the ultimate watch of all watches. Sorry, I believe the new version, the Apple Watch Ultra, is phenomenal.
No. Okay, that for me is the game changer.
Yeah, that is a game changer. A legitimate dive watch.
Let me say one thing. I have been watching my team, the Sydney Swans, play for the last week. I've been thinking about them every single day. I've been focusing on our game, which occurred on Saturday night. So I missed the Ultra launch. Adrian, can you give me a too long don't read on why I should care? Because I have been purely focused on the grand final winners of 2022 Sydney Swans.
So the Apple Watch Ultra is In the UK, it's £850. In America, it's $800. It's a certified, legitimate dive computer, and it will record everything that you're doing. It's slightly larger. It's in titanium. It's got a new strap system. I think it's 47 millimeters as opposed to 44. So it's a chunky beast. Has an extra button. It has crash and full recorders, and it will send out a signal if you're lost. If you're on a dive, you can program a little button on the side, and you can add waypoints so you don't get lost. It is a phenomenal.
Same with climbing.
Yeah.
Same with. I mean, it is your kind of ultimate. You know, everyone says it's like a Garmin. What Apple is very good at, and you know this, is when they did the iPod. You know, the iPod, they weren't the first with MP3 players, but they came out and did the functions very, very well. And the new Ultra is the version like this, is an iPod that makes it easy to function. And I think for me, it is a watch that I'd want. But the thing is, like with the G-Shock, that you've asked me about the G-Shock, I will keep that G-Shock in my drawer forevermore. The Apple Watch, you get rid of it, you lose the chargers, you lose all the shit around it, and you're going, what the fuck? And it doesn't work without any of that.
Adrian, can I demonstrate what you just did? You just took a bottle, filled it up with kerosene, got a hanky, poked it in the top, lit a match on your boot, Clint Eastwood style, lit it, and then you threw it into a dumpster that is now our comment section.
No, I'm reading it. I'd love to address. I'd love to address this. Adrian, don't call it a watch. Just like you don't call your laptop a watch. That's just missing a strap. I also don't call it a car missing tires. No, it's a fucking laptop. It's not a watch. However, if it was a wrist wearable device, Patek, I remember seeing an advert for Patek Philippe, and they describe what they sell as wrist format timekeeping instruments. That's exactly what a watch is a wrist format timekeeping instrument, and that is exactly what an Apple Watch is.
Adrian,
regardless.
How old was that advert? Because fuck me, they're never going to put that advert out ever more. And also
having 6 complications 30 years ago or 50 years ago was like extraordinary. Now
exactly, and now we have infinite. And so it's just that step further. I'm a sucker for technology, but George, back to your point about losing the charger and having to throw it away. I feel like that's because of your connection with the device as opposed to the device itself. For example, if it was
let me get you a packet of marshmallows for your fire.
This is disposable. This is broken after 2 months of, and that's 200 quid, 250 quid. Dead. No, 270.
Hey, the push is back on. Where's the push is back on?
Oh, it's a new detachable pusher. Which one is it? Oh no, the super glue worked. Oh no, it's upside down.
Guys, I want to have a break. I need a little break.
Okay, cool.
By the way, this is the most fun live stream we've ever done. So thanks for joining us, guys. Can we get to? I want to get to 1,000 comments. So we got 926 comments. I want 1,000 in this episode. Come on, keep going. Go, George.
Andrew, I want to talk, please. Okay, look, Andrew, just so you know, stop fucking talking. Okay, can I just say one thing? If anyone is pissed off with Adrian now, go and watch Kurt Klaus, IWC's perpetual calendar designer, and go and watch Kurt Klaus going into an Apple store. It is the funniest videos of this amazing.
That was the most cringeworthy marketing campaign. I love IWC, but that was something that fucking Samsung would do. And then
Adrian, have you met Kurt Klaus?
No, I haven't. But that doesn't change the marketing campaign.
No, it is him. It's him. He's one of those.
It's great.
He's one of those guys that is so.
Old guy doesn't understand technology. Great. Okay, great marketing campaign.
We're young guys that are speaking loudly. Can I just want to have a little moment. Guy van der Aar gave a comment that I just want to read now. I think this is going to bring us, just imagine some violins in the background. To change the game or not to change the game, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of another dive watch variant, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and my brothers to design a sports dress watch and end it. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, but there's the rub. All those watch channel influencers and enthusiasts. Screw it, if necessary. I shuffle off the mortal coil, but will be the changer of games. The Black Bay 58.
Well, whatever he's having, I want some of that. that sounds fun.
Thanks, Guy Vanderar. That was beautiful. We needed that.
That was.
George is just like heavy breathing.
Can I ask something? Because we've got roughly about 10, 15 minutes left.
There he is. He's in the comments. Guy Vanderar.
Can we just get? Here we go. You're the man.
You're the man. You're the man.
Take a bow, Guy. Thank you so much for restoring calm.
But can I ask, season 2?
We have some questions.
There's some things that we want to ask you guys.
Yeah.
There's some good comments, some things that we think actually, firstly, season 2. We're going ahead with season 2. We're going to rock season 2, I hope. It's going to be coming up shortly. But what things would you like to see from season 2? What would be the things that you'd go, oh my God, I'd love to know more about that? I mean, and do you like these therapy sessions? It seems like you do. These are some questions we want to know. Andrew, Adrian, am I on the right notes?
Absolutely, yeah. So we basically want feedback. We want to see where you guys are at. We like, I know it doesn't seem it, but we do like talking to each other, and we love talking watches. So we kind of want to see where you guys are at, what you've enjoyed, what topics you want covered, activities that you want us to do. Maybe there's some crazy stuff that we can go play. And also the sponsorship. We want to start pumping some serious money into what we do, make things bigger and better, rather than just hanging out in George's office space. We want to do some cool stuff. So what sort of brands do you think we should collaborate with? George has an awesome office, but I
want you again.
He charges an arm and a leg, and so we need to find some money to help pay for George's office space.
Is there a scout hall in Glasgow we can go to? That's where we'll be after that comment.
So what sort of brand should we collaborate with and sponsor? Not watch brands though.
Yeah, so look,
guests?
Guys, so just go nuts. I tell you, here's how it's going to happen. Go nuts in the comments now. Tell us everything that you like about us, that you don't like about us, that you want us to be, that you think we should do. Look, I personally think, do we have headphones in season 2? Do we just take the headphones off and just have more of a punch on without any wires, which means I've got better reach? George, there's something that's upsetting me. I don't want to, I know this is going to hurt your feelings. So please just take this in with love. Would you mind just taking your headphones off and just running your hands through your hair? Because you actually look disheveled, and I've never seen you look disheveled. Just like both hands, like rake it back. I feel like this at some point there we just really went wild. That's better. He's back. He's good.
This reminds me of a really cute thing that I have to share. So I've just been out with my eldest, and we're about to go into a shop. We're about to go into B&Q, get some paint, and my little boy just said, "Dad, your hair's really messed up." So I quickly fixed it.
Your hair's never messed up, Adrian.
Yeah, that's good. I thought my little boy's got my back. I thought he's good lad.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah.
So we're getting loads of comments in. These comments are going absolutely nuts.
This is great. Someone wants a 4 Pillars gin, about effing time gin. That would be cool. What about if it was in 3 flavors, like Adrian flavor, like something super. What flavor gin would you like?
Gin. It's just regular gin.
It's just straight gin.
And it's in a clear bottle that you can see all the way through. It's got nothing. No packaging, no nothing.
No. Just have a black and white sticker, just in plain text, gin. In Times New Roman.
And when you taste it, all of the excitement in your life just leaks away.
That's what gin does, no?
I think it does, actually. Remember, George, my favorite comment of the whole season is, Ian Williams suggests that Adrian's gin is sans alcohol.
Actually, alcohol-free, that's perfect.
You don't even really drink that much. But, George, my favorite comment from the whole season, hands down, is... I say, guys, guess what? I got a tiny bit of money. We've got a sponsor. And George is like, fantastic. Gin, great. Okay, let's roll. Let's start. I'm really going to promote this brand. Like, we were so excited. In the first drinks break, you smell it and go, that doesn't smell like depression. So, sorry, there's a lot of ideas here. I really do, there's been a lot of this Top Gear stuff going on, as in, comparing I suppose the madness. This is a really funny topic.
Okay, yeah, we've got to get off.
We can't. So we can't go full Top Gear unless we get lots and lots of sponsorship. So do mention, just stick brand names, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I think for our sort of independence, we do want to go non-watch brands. So think of what is the ultimate non-watch brands that you'd like to see us work with, and we'll see what we can do.
Sam, I agree with you. I think we. Do you know? Honestly, I do. You're saying you want to get into cars, and I love cars, of course. So I think it's something that we need to be talking a bit more on, and I think season 2 maybe we'll do. But also the other thing is, you think about watch brands. They've partnered up with cars, and I think this is something that we could talk about in season 2. I think that we're going to be putting together kind of the season 2 plan. But I think cars would be a good thing. I think.
Okay, just no comedians and no coffee.
But the other thing I will ask you is, could you actually do a whole thing on Apple?
What, the Apple Watch or what?
Yeah.
Sponsored by Apple. I'm not sure Apple are going to touch us after the last little bit.
Yeah, we are nowhere near.
And guys, if I can, I absolutely love our team. I just love you guys, because the sheer vocal, just the flood of comments. I want to use this opportunity to say, several people have asked if we can please put the video on Spotify, like Rogan. Can I have a yes, no to video? Yes video, no video on Spotify, because we debated this and thought it might cannibalize our YouTube numbers, and because we love that YouTube is our home. And by the way, anyone that works at YouTube that wants to work with us, because that would be an easy one. But should we have a video version of this on Spotify? Would that help you guys? I love watching my podcast on Spotify.
Bell stuff.
That's a great show.
Bell stuff, yeah.
I hadn't thought about Barber and Bell stuff. Yeah, you're
that's
totally
brilliant,
right.
Owen.
I also think a good coffee brand. I was thinking of some cool coffee brands. There's some brands that I think would work very well for us. And then the other thing is a Land Rover. Hell yes!
Wow, dare to dream.
I mean, like, literally, that would be praying, and yeah, that would be amazing. But I think season 2, we're gonna have some
denim
stuff.
Oh yes, denim. Viva Bastardo, Bose. Oh, Bose would be great. Man, these are all my favorite brands. This is exactly why we did this. So Theo and Harris they want to say, hey, Theo and Harris, do you want to sponsor our show? Do you think oh, this is fun. So not getting a clear view of whether we should be on Spotify video. Someone did say the issue with that is that there's still no engagement. Look at the sun coming up in Australia, guys. It's happening again. We love YouTube because it's a place for us. It's like a village square. We can come out. Hey, guys, should we ever do a live one, do you think? Like, there's quite a few comments suggesting we do a live show. Would that be fun?
I'd love to do it.
I think it'd be a laugh. Do one in London. Get a bit of an audience. Get some, imagine doing a live Q&A. There'd have to be some sort of order, because this is going crazy.
Mayhem. I mention Apple Watch.
Imagine the bottles being thrown. The walkouts.
It'd be like in those American movies where they're in the small towns and they have the chicken wire around the band.
Are you meaning like the Blues Brothers? The Blues Brothers, where everything gets thrown.
Brothers. I think it was in Roadhouse as well.
No,
yeah.
I think it would be nice to do a live one, and I think maybe we look at that for when we do season 2. I've got a location that we can use, so it could be quite a good thing, and we could do.
I'd like to take over an old pub, and just to start for the first half an hour, we just solidly drink pints, and then we get up, and it's just like a town hall meeting. That would be cool.
I think that's going to be you and I in Australia, but anyway,
that's true. By the way, George Bamford, we'll announce it right now. George Bamford will be in Australia on October the 1st at Time and Tide's new headquarters in Collins Street. If you're Australian and watching this right now, please get in touch at Time and Tide, DM us, join the club, because the club are getting the invites. Let's rock. What else do we have there? Well, there's a lot of brands. We can go back and watch this.
Yeah.
And see what's come up. But Dalton's Tag Heuer from Roadhouse is legendary. Oh, everything in Roadhouse is legendary. I don't know if you guys have watched that movie recently, but man, it's just a masterpiece. Gents, we are at 50. We're at 1 hour and 36 seconds. We have brought this plane into land right on time. I actually feel quite exhausted, as I usually do after a good episode. Season 2 beckons. We have 2 episodes left. We have, or is it 1? No, it's 1. It's 1 episode left.
Is it already? Damn.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh no.
We've got 2 to go out. We've edited one, and we've got another one to go out. Yeah.
So should we give them a teaser? Give the team a teaser for the next one?
I can't remember what it is again.
Not on my watch. No, it is the teaser for the next episode is the title of the next episode is Not on My Watch. Thank you, Skilo. Let's get to 1,000. Come on. Thank you for all your support. There's been so many comments. The next episode is about Adrian. When we were throwing ideas out for episodes we should do in season 1, Adrian had a line that just said stuff we hate about watches. And I was like,
I was feeling happy that day.
Captain Angry instead of Captain Boring. That gin would have tasted very bitter. I was like, there's something great about that. Let's do it at an episode. But I thought we should maybe, because someone said Adrian would make the field watch, George would make it interesting, and Andrew would make it sellable. So I immediately thought, okay, how can I make this stuff?
Actually, that's quite cool.
It's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. I think people know us. I feel seen, even though I'm kind of the commercial whore in the mix, it seems. But no. I thought, how can I make this stuff we hate somewhat more palatable? So we turned it into Not on My Watch for things that we don't like on watches. And that is coming at you in 7 days. I don't know. How did you guys feel rewatching this one? What was the mood in the room?
Do you know, rewatching some of these things, rewatching it, I'm like going, oh my God, we said that. Oh my God, we did that. There was a few kind of like jaw drop moments that I was like, and I did mention Tag Heuer, I think, once. Did I? No, I don't know.
Don't spoil it. The drinking game guy's going to be like, I'm not watching it. There's only one mention. There's crappy clasps. Damn, that we're going to get so many things we forgot. It gets weird, this one, I say. The way watching it again, I'm like, man, I genuinely need some therapy. I need to.
There are some grumpy moments. Which is quite, but I find it therapeutic being able to just have a rant. It is quite nice, that's what happens. That's what happens.
Just a bit of housekeeping. The next therapy session is going to actually be on a Saturday night, not Sunday night. Sorry to make that, is because that is Sunday morning for Andrew and I in Australia. Otherwise, I'm in New Zealand.
What's it again?
Are we both in Australia?
We're both in Australia for the next.
So you're not free on the Monday morning?
I'm in New Zealand, mate.
But that's okay. They have telephones there.
It'd be nice if we were together. It'd be nice if we were together.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's easy.
We will announce this in due course.
I'm already announcing shit because I'm like I'm moving. We haven't even planned this. It's like
you just caught me there. Oh, anyways, someone also said a System 51's a game changer. That's probably a small one. Anyway, that's we've had enough. Thank you guys for enriching what we do. That was my favorite ever live stream. That was fucking unreal.
That was.
Thank you so much for supporting us. You mean so much to us. The thing I look forward to the most as soon as we turn on live, Adrian, is that comments just start flying, and we almost don't need to do anything. But
yeah, they went nuts today. But guys, this was great fun.
Unreal. Thanks very much, guys.
Have a good night.
7 days to the next show. See you then.
Take care.